Hokage-Shiki Jijun, and Kakuan Nitten Suishu. If Wood Style had a calm down button for tailed beasts, this would be it. This jutsu is all about suppressing chakra, the wild hurricane-level chakra of a Jinchūriki, or a tailed beast. The user forms the kanji for seat in their palm, like they're politely telling the beast, "Take a seat, buddy, you're done." Then, with direct contact, they slam the target's raging chakra into submission. Hashirama Senju, he's the poster boy for this move. No necklace, no 10 wooden pillars, no warm-up. He could casually stroll into a battlefield, slap this on a tailed beast, and boom, instant obedience. He even used it to strip control away from opponents using the Sharingan. That's not only about ceiling power, that's rewriting the rules mid-fight. Yamato, on the other hand, is more by the book. His version needs the first Hokage's necklace to hit full effect. And when he used it on Naruto in his four-tailed state, you could tell the struggle was real. Hashirama made this look like pressing a light switch. Yamato looked like he was trying to unplug a live wire with oven mitts. Kakuan Nitten Suishu is why Hashirama could control the distribution of tailed beasts across nations, setting the balance of power for decades. But it's not really an attack, it's a control tool. Against someone without massive chakra reserves, it's overkill. Against a raging Biju, it's a lifeline. Yamato's version? Let's just say, it works, but you're not walking into a Madara fight with it. Before we wrap up, I just want to say a huge thank you. We've officially passed 20,389 subscribers. That number might look simple, but to us, it means everything. Every single click, every like, every sub, it's helped our channel grow a little more each day, and we truly appreciate it. Our next goal? 25,000, and we'd love to hit that milestone with you. If you've enjoyed this video, or if you just love diving deep into the ninja world with us, hit that like button and smash the subscribe if you haven't already. Let's keep growing together. Now, Kanzeon Lotus King. Now, let's switch from calm down to full-on chaos. Kanzeon Lotus King is Toby's spin on giant statue combat, a spiritual cousin to Hashirama's true several thousand hands. But here's the twist. No Sage Mode chakra. It's like ordering a smaller burger meal. Still satisfying, but not quite the towering feast Hashirama serves. The statue is massive, with countless arms branching out, each ready to smack, grab, or crush from every direction. But Toby didn't stop there. The statue's head has these small, creepy faces that can fire attacks using all 5 chakra natures. Imagine getting hit by fire, lightning, wind, water, and earth, all at once, while you're still trying to figure out which arm is about to slap you. This technique is pure multi-target chaos, perfect for large-scale battles, which is exactly how Toby used it during the 4th Great Ninja War. It doesn't have the Wood Human or Wood Dragon add-ons that Hashirama's statue flexes, but it makes up for that with versatility. Here's the thing, compared to Hashirama's version, Kanzeon Lotus King is smaller, weaker, and doesn't dominate the battlefield the same way. But in the hands of Toby, who's already a master manipulator, it's devastating enough to keep entire squads of shinobi scrambling. It's like the difference between a hurricane and a supercell storm. One is bigger, but either way, you're getting wrecked. Multiple wood release clone technique. You've seen regular clones, you've seen shadow clones, but this is the "you really thought one of me was bad" technique. The multiple wood release clone technique lets the user create an army of physical clones, not illusions, not chakra smoke, but full-body doubles grown straight from surrounding vegetation. These clones can hit, block, and even take damage like the original. Good luck figuring out which one's real when even the Sharingan can't tell the difference. In the right environment, this move is ridiculously efficient. Surrounded by lush forest? Congratulations, you can basically print clones on demand. The chakra cost stays low, so the user can keep pumping them out until the enemy drowns in numbers. Need to encircle an opponent? Easy. Planning a surprise attack? Have the clones pop out from every bush and tree trunk. Recon mission? Send a few out while you sit back with tea. They'll handle the legwork. The only catch? No trees, no fun. In barren landscapes, the jutsu loses its endless army vibe. But when the terrain is right, this move turns one skilled shinobi into an entire battalion. And if that shinobi happens to be someone like Hashirama, well, let's say entire armies have learned what overwhelmed really means. Resonance Blast. Now we're stepping into the goodbye entire battlefield category. Resonance Blast is what happens when Obito Uchiha gets 10 Tails Jinchūriki powers and decides subtlety is overrated. Picture this. A colossal tree erupts from the ground, and from it bloom 4 giant flowers. Pretty, right? Not for long. Each flower holds a fully charged tailed beast ball. And these aren't decorative. They're the kind of blasts that could wipe out armies. But Obito doesn't stop there. He seals the whole area with the 6 red yang formation, trapping his prey so they can't even run. It's like locking someone in a room and then lighting 4 explosives at once. The sheer destructive force puts it alongside the most dangerous techniques in shinobi history. 4 simultaneous tailed beast balls from one source. That's the kind of power only a 10 Tails host can casually throw around. During the 4th Great Ninja War, this attack nearly erased the allied shinobi forces in one strike. If it weren't for a coordinated save by Naruto, Minato, and a teleportation squad, we'd be talking about this move as the one that ended the war early, in Obito's favor. The limitation is obvious. No 10 Tails Jinchūriki form, no Resonance Blast. But when you do have it, there's a reason everyone's first reaction is panic. Sage Art Wood release, true several thousand hands. This is the crown jewel of Hashirama Senju's arsenal, the technique that makes even the most battle-hardened shinobi stop and think, yeah, maybe not today. When Hashirama enters Sage mode, he can summon a statue so massive it makes the full-sized Kurama look like a house cat. We're talking about a towering figure with its 2 main hands clasped in a calm, prayer-like gesture. And then thousands of other arms fanning out behind it, like a giant wooden halo of doom. These arms can unleash a flurry of punches so fast and so powerful, they can flatten a tailed beast in seconds. The statue is so huge and dense, it doubles as a near impenetrable fortress, blocking attacks that would level mountains. Offense and defense merge into one. You're either getting crushed or you're failing to break through. And if that wasn't enough, Hashirama sometimes combines this with Kakuan Nitten Suishu, turning the statue into a giant chakra-suppressing machine. That's how he could subdue multiple tailed beasts at once without the Uchiha's Sharingan tricks. Against Madara, against armies, against mythical creatures, this was the move that defined him as the god of shinobi. The catch? It's not an everyday jutsu. It requires Sage mode, meaning you need perfect chakra balance, plus reserves big enough to make most KJ cry. But when Hashirama brings it out, you're not about fighting a shinobi. You're fighting a one-man natural disaster. Sea of Trees Erosion. If the 1,000-hand statue is Hashirama's hammer, Sea of Trees Erosion is his scalpel. This technique lets him weaponize the battlefield itself by manipulating massive underground roots. They snake up from below, wrapping, crushing, or sweeping enemies off their feet before they know what hit them. And because the attack comes from under the ground, good luck predicting it. Unless you're a sensor or a teleporter, you're probably getting grabbed. Hashirama could scale this however he wanted. Need to trip a squad? A few roots will do. Want to crush an entire enemy formation? He can flood the field with a writhing mass of wood that leaves no escape route. It's a mobility killer, perfect for slowing aggressive opponents and dictating where the fight happens. Compared to Nativity of a World of Trees, this isn't quite as overwhelming in sheer scope, but for tactical dominance, it's gold. Hashirama could use it to cut off reinforcements, funnel enemies into traps, or just keep them too busy dodging roots to mount any kind of offense. It's the kind of move that turns the ground beneath your feet into the enemy. And against Hashirama, that enemy will crushes you. Nativity of a World of Trees. If wood style had a grand entrance move, this would be it. With this technique, Hashirama doesn't change the battlefield, he rebuilds it. The ground splits, and in a matter of seconds, a massive forest erupts from nothing. Trees shoot upward at terrifying speed, ripping apart the terrain, swallowing structures, and snaring anything unlucky enough to be standing there. On the battlefield, it traps enemy forces, blocks their lines of sight, and creates natural barriers that are nearly impossible to breach. Hashirama could turn open plains into a maze of living walls, forcing his enemies to fight on his terms. And here's the thing, the trees are alive, under his control, meaning they can twist and tighten around targets mid-fight. Outside of combat, this jutsu literally helped shape the world. Hashirama used it to lay the foundation for Konohagakure itself, blending towering trees into the village's design. Nobody else has ever replicated it at full scale. Even Yamato, with his years of wood-style practice, can only produce a fraction of what Hashirama could do in a single breath. It's destructive, it's creative, it's iconic. The kind of move that cements you in history as the master of your element. Advent of a world of flowering trees. If Nativity of a World of Trees is the perfect setup, this is the sinister follow-up. Madara Uchiha, in his Edo Tensei form, used this one to terrifying effect in the Fourth Great Ninja War. The forest bursts to life just like Nativity. But now, massive flowers bloom across the canopy, and they're not here for decoration. These flowers release thick clouds of paralyzing pollen that drift through the air, seeping past defenses and knocking out anyone who breathes it in. It doesn't matter if you're wearing armor, hiding behind cover, or even cloaked inside a Susanoo. The pollen can get through. Madara used this to blanket the battlefield, dropping hundreds of shinobi into unconsciousness in minutes. The only real counter, either destroy the trees and flowers before they release too much pollen, or get out of the affected zone entirely. Strong-willed opponents might resist for a while, but even they're fighting against time. This jutsu is pure biological warfare, mixing Hashirama's style of battlefield control with Madara's ruthless efficiency. Once it's active, you're either holding your breath until your lungs burn, or you're out cold, wondering how you lost without a single blade touching you. Great forest technique. When you think of wood style, you might picture towering forests and giant statues. But sometimes it's the subtle, adaptable techniques that show just how dangerous this Kekkei Genkai can be. And the Great Forest technique is a perfect example. This jutsu lets the user transform their own arms into living extensions of wood, morphing into massive tree trunks or razor-sharp spears in the blink of an eye. It's like turning your body into a weaponized forest on demand. The mechanics are straightforward but terrifying in execution. By altering the cellular structure in their arms with chakra, the user triggers rapid wooden growth that can branch, coil, or thrust outward at incredible speeds. In close combat, these wooden extensions can bind a target before they even realize they're caught. The spears can pierce through armor, walls, or even other jutsu-based defenses. And because the growth is fast and unpredictable, enemies often don't have time to react. Yamato demonstrated this technique's versatility on multiple occasions. He used it not just for battle, but also for infiltration, famously pushing wood through a crack in Orochimaru's hideout and expanding it into a full entryway for his team. It can be used to seal off exits, create instant cover, or even disrupt enemy formations. The Great Forest technique thrives on creativity. One moment it's an offensive strike, the next it's a trap, and then it's an impromptu shield. The only real limitation is the user's own chakra control. A skilled wielder can make the wood grow precisely where they want, at exactly the right speed, but lose focus and the attack might be too slow or too weak to hold its target. Still, in the hands of someone like Yamato, this move is proof that wood release is just as deadly in small-scale skirmishes as it is in massive battles. Hoki Technique. Where the Great Forest technique is about versatility in attack, the Hoki Technique is pure defensive mastery. Picture this. a massive wooden dome shaped like the head of a dragon surging up from the ground to shield the user. But this is a barrier, a fortress laced with sealing properties, designed to neutralize the energy of incoming attacks before they even land. Hashirama was the master of this jutsu. By combining his wood release with advanced Fuinjutsu, he created a barrier that could withstand assaults powerful enough to obliterate mountains. Energy-based techniques, explosive force, even tailed beast attacks. The Hobi dome could take the hit and keep the user safe. And because the structure is formed from living, controlled wood, it's not static. The dome can split apart vertically on command, allowing Hashirama to counterattack the moment the defense holds. This balance between protection and offense makes the Hobi technique uniquely versatile. You're not forced into a purely defensive stance. You can defend, then retaliate in the same breath. Few shinobi can blend sealing, defense, and immediate counterplay so seamlessly, which is why this jutsu is another example of why Hashirama was so feared on the battlefield. The only drawback is that it demands high sealing expertise. Without that, you're just making a very sturdy wall. Wood human technique. If the Hobi technique is a fortress, the wood human technique is a walking war machine. This jutsu summons a colossal wooden entity shaped like a war god, towering over the battlefield. The sheer size of this construct is enough to terrify opponents, but its power goes far beyond intimidation. It acts as both armor and weapon for the user. The wood human can fight independently, shielding the caster within its body while striking with devastating force. Its arms can sweep away squads of shinobi or go toe-to-toe with titanic threats. One of its most iconic features is the wood dragon that often coils around it, enhancing its capabilities. The dragon can launch multi-directional attacks, constrict enemies, or even absorb chakra directly from its target, making it deadly against chakra-heavy opponents like tailed beasts. The true test of this technique's power came during its clash with Madara Uchiha's perfect Susanoo. It was one of the strongest ever seen, with destructive capabilities rivaling a Biju. And yet, the wood human held its ground, proving that Hashirama's wood release could match, and even suppress, the might of the Uchiha's ultimate defense. High chakra consumption and the need for exceptional skill make this jutsu rare even among wood release users. But in the hands of Hashirama, it became a symbol of dominance. It wasn't simply a construct, it was the embodiment of his control over nature, his mastery of ninjutsu, and his unmatched presence on the battlefield.